Hello everyone, my name is Melissa Palacios and I am from Southern California. As of right now, I work for a school district, for an elementary school district. I work as a parent liaison, which in which I basically am the voice between parents and the district. Um, what I do is I basically set up, like for example, if a parent has a concern, they come up to me, and then I can set up meetings with the district or whoever um, could be a resource for that parent, or whoever can help that parent with anything that they might need. So that's basically what I do. I also do like many report for the district. Um, I encounter with many students and parents as well. I do help in advising them. Basically, like academically, for example, if a parent comes with their student and they say, "Oh, you know what? Well, my kid is, let's say, they're failing a certain subject." I can advise them as to what they can do. I can, for example, I can advise them like, oh, you know what? Well, maybe if the teacher is offering tutoring, maybe that could be an option for the student to get some extra help. So that's a little bit of what I do. As for as for completing my hours, I'm planning on completing them at a community college, where it's for an outreach program at the community college. Um, the outreach program has a counselor who works with the high school students. So I'd be planning to do my hours there. Mm, the reason I want to do them there is because I've done them before at elementary schools. I've done them at high schools. So now I was able to ask, and I was able to get able to get permission to do my shadowing hours there. So that's probably the reason why I'm gonna do them there, as well as I do want to learn a little bit more of how the community college works and everything. So that's the reason why I would be doing my hours there. Um, my final score for the practice quiz, I got three wrong, so it was out of seven, if I recall right. So I did get three wrong. Mm, one that I did get wrong was for the how many semesters are required for science, for biology science. So I'm sorry, for laboratory science. So I got that one wrong. I wasn't sure about that one, and I did get it wrong. Which other one, if I remember right? Um, mm, which other one did I get wrong? I can't remember which other ones I got wrong, but I know I got three wrong. And like I mentioned before, I am not very related with um I mean, I did go to college and everything for my bachelor's, obviously, but I was trying to remember when I was doing the quiz. I was trying to remember I'm sorry, the requirements that I needed to graduate. And like one of them I did get it right, because I was able to remember that I took what my requirements were. But then I thought about it and I was like, okay, well, I know different colleges have many different requirements, so um, I did get some of them wrong. Um, what else? Oh, as for the video, I for the college affordability town hall. Um, what did I? Well, what I remember that I was able to relate that that the students mentioned was, I think there were students, I'm not really sure. Was that well, they just share like an experience that they had when they thought about going to college, that it was one of the things that they mentioned to their parents. They said that their parents said that they could go to any school that they wanted, but the first thing that came to their mind was financial aid. And that is true, and I was able to relate because I I did receive financial aid when I went to college, for my bachelor's degree, luckily. But I know that many students do not receive financial aid, and they do have to get loans. So a lot of the times, like some of my friends, they were like, "Oh, you know what? I didn't want to go to this school, but I don't get financial aid, so I had to get loans. So this is a cheaper school to go to, besides the one I really wanted to go. So I know that that was an issue for many of my friends, that they had to go to the school that I went because it was a little bit cheaper than going off to college. Plus, it wasn't just college that they had to pay for. They had to pay for the living. They had to pay for transportation. So that's something that helped, not help them, but that a reason why they decided to stay here, where they live, because they if they stay here, they had the support of their parents. They didn't have to pay for for a living because they would live with their parents. So I remember that's something that they mentioned at the at the video, that the YouTube video that we watched. So that's something that really that I was able to relate to, because I remember, like many of my friends, that was an issue that they faced when they were trying to go to college. Um, I to For me, it was an issue in a way, because I did want to go off to college. I didn't want to stay here. I wanted to get the college experience of going away, living in the dorms, but I had to stay because my mom wasn't able to help me afford living, like paying rent over there. Plus, she would have to pay rent here, so in my hometown. So that's the reason why she didn't really let me go, because she told me, think about everything. I'm not gonna be able to help you when you're over there. Um, I'm not gonna be able to provide for you transportation. So um, I was decided to go, but then when she gave me this talk, I did think about it, and it did hold me back. I thought about it, and I did get a little scared, because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to um, have the support from anyone over there, from my parents. So that's one of the reasons I decided to stay here in my hometown, and go to college here. Um, and something that I would like to get out of this course is to learn more about, like what I had said before, more about counseling college students, and knowing more about the requirements for many colleges, and how we can better help students decide. Because this, I just remember, this is something else that I saw in the video, that many students want to go to college, but they don't know if they attend. And many times it's because of the requirements. Many of the students, high school students, they don't know the requirements for like certain schools that they want to go to, and they just get they just stop. They just don't keep looking into the school. So they just not apply, and just lose that motivation of going to a certain school, when they don't really, because they don't really know the requirements, or they just feel unmotivated to just keep going with the process, because they don't really know what they're doing. So that's something that I really would like to get out of the course. Know how to counsel those students who are really interested in going to a certain school, but they just don't keep going with the process, because they feel lost, and they start getting unmotivated. So that's something I would like to get out of the course. Um, and well, my needs, like I said, I don't really know much about. I did apply to college, but I remember my counselor helping me a lot. My high school counselor, luckily, I had a good high school counselor, and she helped me a lot. So with the process and everything, so that's something that I would really like to do for students. Change that trend of students not going to a certain university or college because they don't know the requirements they need, or they didn't know about the financial aid that they could get, the help that they could get, um, or they didn't know about applying for scholarships, and that's just money that they lost. So I would like to learn more about all those requirements and how to help students better that way. All right, thank you, and have a good night.